Hello everyone, this is part 4 of the Klingon battlecruiser build. Now, the picture you see on the left is the colors I'm going to paint the base. But I want the yellow part to look kind of metallic, so I've decided to paint it silver and then paint over it with Tamiya clear yellow to see if I can get a metallic look out of that. Alright, now I'm painting on the clear yellow. I'm going to make sure I get every single bit of the silver covered. And then I'm going to let it dry overnight and check it out the next day to see how it looks. I knew I was going to have to clear coat this model when I was finished, but first I'm going to clear coat it with All Clad Gloss Clear. And then I'm going to wait for it to dry for 2 days. And then once it's good and dry, I'm going to hit it with some Tamiya panel line Ascent, just to see if I can use that to bring out some of the hull details, maybe dirty it up a bit. As it sits now, it looks too clean to me. And based on what I've always seen on Star Trek, when it comes to Klingon ships, they're not clean ships. They're dirty, they have weathering, and I've used Tamiya panel line Ascent in the past as weathering on some of my builds. So I'm going to try to, dirty this ship up a bit so it kind of blends in with my 1/350 scale bird of prey that I have. Alright, now I'm just painting the red hull panels on the top side of the headpiece. And then once that dries, there are some small green panels that I'm going to have to repaint with the main hull color. Alright, at this point, I can pretty much just glue this top piece onto the rest of the model. But first I gotta solder together all the wiring for the lighting, making sure I get everything soldered together and wired up before I glue it on. Alright, now I'm painting the Klingon emblem its colors, but before I do that I'm going to paint this trim around it with titanium gold. And then, once that dries, I'm going to mask it off and then paint on the insignia red first. Alright, now that the titanium gold color has had a good hour to dry, I'm going to mask it off. And then I'm going to paint on the red first, then the green, and then the blue. Oh, I just checked my paint colors, and unfortunately, I am out of blue. So it looks like I'm going to have to order some more. Okay, I'm about to make a change to this base here. These holes for the buttons are not straight, so I'm going to take the base out to my workshop, cut that off, and then put a piece of thick styrene there with some holes drilled into it for the buttons. Alright, now I'm just basically masking off the small hull panels that will be painted the main hull color again, and making sure that I get every single one of them completely taped off on their sides. That way I'm only masking off what I don't want painted. And because these hull panels that I'm going to paint are so small, getting the masking tape in the right place is very tricky. So I'm just going to do the best I can and hope for the best. And all this masking is just another good example of why this kit needs a paint masking set made for it. Alright, now that I've got those whole panels painted and the masking removed, I'm going to work on this upper deflector dish piece, which I tried to make a replacement for, but I couldn't get it to fit right. So the only way I know to fix that is to put some of the UV resin I have in there and then paint it with Tamiya clear yellow. The top side of the headpiece, its paintwork is almost done. Now I just need to touch up the underside. Alright, now I'm just putting some more putty into these seams, making sure that I get all of them. And it's a good thing that this putty that I'm using can easily be wiped off with water. That way I don't have to sand and repaint anything, I just have to wipe it off and then wait for it to dry. My camera shifted while I was painting the headpiece, so I took these pictures so you can see everything that I've done to it. Now I'm working on the display base, and as you can see, the styrene piece is in place. The 3 holes in it are drilled straight. The buttons, they all fit inside very well. Now all I have to do is paint it and then solder the wiring to the buttons. Now I'm just soldering the wiring to the buttons, and the black button will be the main power. The red button will be for the photon torpedo firing effect, and the green button will be for the disruptor firing effect. And now I'm just soldering the wiring to the power jack, and once I'm done with that, I'm going to put it inside the base. It's a bit of a snug fit in the hole, but I got it in there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and paint that styrene piece, and then I'm going to remove the masking and fix any touch-ups that might be needed. The blue paint that I ordered finally came in, so now I can finish painting this Klingon emblem. And what I'm doing is just basically painting on the last color, which is the blue. And once I remove the masking, I'll do any touch-up work that is needed. I'm hoping there won't be any touch-up work needed, but you never know. Alright, now that I've given this blue paint a good hour to dry, it's time to take off the masking and see if I did a good job. Now that turned out pretty good. I'm very happy with it. Now I'm just gonna clear coat the hell out of it and then let it get good and dry. And once that's done, I am going to make a mold of this Klingon emblem. That way, when I get around to building my Kronos 1 kit, I'll have a Klingon emblem to use on the base.